Lugalbanda was a young warrior. He was known for his bravery and his unwavering spirit. From a young age, he had trained diligently, mastering the arts of combat and strategy. His heart was filled with dreams of glory and honor, and he longed for the day he could prove his worth. He lived in the great city of Uruk, a city renowned for its grandeur and its rich history. The streets of Uruk were always bustling with activity, and its people were proud of their heritage. The city was a beacon of civilization, with towering ziggurats and bustling marketplaces. King Enmerkar ruled Uruk wisely and well. He was a just and fair ruler, beloved by his people. Under his reign, Uruk had prospered, and its influence had spread far and wide. The king was not only a ruler, but also a visionary, always seeking ways to strengthen and expand his kingdom. One day the king called for his army. The call echoed through the city, reaching every corner and every household. The king needed his warriors to gather, for there was a great task at hand. The distant land of Aratta, rich in resources and strategic importance, needed to be conquered. He needed to conquer the distant land of Aratta. The land was known for its wealth and its strategic location. Conquering Aratta would not only bring riches to Uruk, but also secure its dominance in the region. The king knew that this campaign would be challenging, but he had faith in his warriors. Lugalbanda, eager to prove himself, answered the call. He stepped forward with determination in his eyes, ready to take on any challenge. This was the moment he had been waiting for, the opportunity to show his valor and earn his place among the great warriors of Uruk. He joined the ranks of the king's mighty army. The army was a formidable force, composed of seasoned warriors and young recruits alike. They were united by a common purpose and a shared sense of duty. Together, they formed an unbreakable bond, ready to face whatever lay ahead. He was ready to face any danger for his city. Lugalbanda knew that the path ahead would be fraught with peril, but his resolve was unwavering. He prepared himself mentally and physically, knowing that every step he took was for the glory of Uruk. The soldiers marched out of Uruk's grand gates. The sight was awe-inspiring, a sea of warriors moving as one. The people of Uruk lined the streets, cheering and offering their blessings. The soldiers carried with them the hopes and dreams of their city. The destiny of their city rested on their shoulders. Each warrior knew the weight of their responsibility. They were not just fighting for themselves, but for their families, their friends, and their future. The journey ahead was uncertain, but their determination was unshakable. They knew the journey would be long and dangerous. The path to Aratta was treacherous, filled with harsh landscapes and potential threats. But the soldiers were prepared for any challenge. They moved forward with a sense of purpose, their spirits undeterred by the obstacles ahead. But their spirits were high. Despite the challenges, there was a sense of camaraderie among the soldiers. They sang songs of bravery and shared stories of past victories. Their unity and high spirits were their greatest strengths, keeping them motivated and focused on their mission. They were determined to be victorious. Lugalbanda marched among them, his heart filled with pride and determination. He knew that this journey would define his future, and he was ready to give his all. The bond he shared with his fellow soldiers gave him strength and courage. He was just one man. In the grand scheme of things, Lugalbanda was but a single warrior among many, but he knew that every individual effort counted. Each soldier played a crucial role in the success of their mission, but he was ready to become a hero. Lugalbanda's journey was just beginning, and he was prepared to face whatever challenges came his way. With courage in his heart and a steadfast resolve, he marched forward, ready to carve his name into the annals of history. The journey to Aratta was grueling. The land was harsh and unforgiving. The sun beat down mercilessly on the marching men. The soldiers trekked across scorching deserts. They climbed treacherous mountains. The path was littered with obstacles. Each step was a testament to their endurance. Rations began to dwindle. Water became scarce. The soldiers grew weary, but they pressed on. They knew their mission was too important to abandon. Lugalbanda faced the same hardships as his comrades. He never complained. He shared their burdens without hesitation. The ordeal took its toll on Lugalbanda. His once boundless energy began to fade. He felt an unfamiliar weakness creeping through his body. A fever gripped him. He shivered despite the scorching sun. His legs ached with every step. He struggled to keep up with the marching army. His comrades noticed his plight. They tried to help him. They shared what little water they had left. They offered him words of encouragement. but Lugalbanda's condition worsened with each passing day. He knew he was becoming a burden. He feared he would slow down the entire army. The army could not delay any longer. The urgency of their mission weighed heavily on their minds. Every moment spent in hesitation could mean the difference between success and failure. The soldiers knew the stakes were high and their resolve was unshakable. They had to reach Arata. The city held the key to their kingdom's future, a beacon of hope amidst the uncertainty. The journey ahead was fraught with peril, but the promise of what lay beyond the horizon spurred them onward. With heavy hearts they made a difficult decision. The weight of their choice was palpable, a burden shared by all. They knew that leaving one of their own behind was a harsh necessity, a sacrifice for the greater good. They had to leave Lugalbanda behind. His condition had worsened, and carrying him further would jeopardize the entire mission. The decision was agonizing, but there was no other way. They created a makeshift shelter for him in a mountain pass. It was a humble refuge, offering scant protection against the elements. Yet it was the best they could do under the circumstances. They left him with a small amount of food and water. The provisions were meager, barely enough to sustain him for a few days. But it was all they could spare, a token of their hope for his survival. Lugalbanda watched as his comrades disappeared into the distance. The sight of their retreating forms filled him with a mix of sorrow and determination. He knew he had to muster every ounce of strength to survive. He felt a profound sense of loneliness wash over him. He was scared. He was alone. The vastness of the landscape around him only amplified his isolation. The silence was deafening, a stark reminder of his solitude, but he did not give up hope. Deep within, a spark of resilience ignited. He knew that surrendering to despair was not an option. His spirit remained unbroken, fueled by the belief that he could overcome the odds. He prayed to the gods for help. His prayers were fervent, a plea for strength and guidance. He sought the favor of the divine, hoping that his faith would be rewarded in his time of need. He vowed that if he survived, he would prove himself worthy of their favor. This vow became his anchor, a promise to himself and the gods. It was a testament to his unwavering resolve, a declaration that he would not be forsaken. The gods heard Lugalbanda's prayers. They recognized his courage. They admired his unwavering loyalty. They decided to intervene. Utu, the god of the sun, sent down his radiant light. The warmth enveloped Lugalbanda. It soothed his fevered brow. Ninsun, the goddess of healing, appeared before him. She was a vision of beauty and compassion. She touched Lugalbanda with her gentle hand. His illness began to recede. Strength flowed back into his weary limbs. Lugalbanda was humbled by the god's compassion. He knew he had been given a second chance. He vowed to use his newfound strength wisely. Section 6. A test of mettle. Lugalbanda was alone, but he was no longer helpless. He was determined to rejoin the army. He set off through the wilderness. The path was fraught with danger. Wild beasts roamed the land. The terrain was treacherous, but Lugalbanda pressed on. He used his wit to outsmart his adversaries. He relied on his strength to overcome obstacles. He faced each challenge with unwavering resolve. He felt the gods' presence guiding his every step. He knew they were testing him. Section 7. Facing the Anzu bird. Lugalbanda's journey led him to a high mountain pass. There he encountered a fearsome creature, the Anzu bird. The Anzu was a monstrous being. It had the head of a lion and the body of an eagle. It possessed immense strength and ferocity. The Anzu swooped down from the sky, its razor-sharp talons outstretched. Lugalbanda knew he had to fight. He dodged the Anzu's attacks with incredible agility. He struck the beast with all his might. The battle raged. Finally, with a mighty blow, Lugalbanda defeated the Anzu. Section 8. Triumphant Return. Lugalbanda continued his journey through the vast, unforgiving desert. Each step was a testament to his unwavering determination and resilience. He was weary but undeterred. The scorching sun beat down on him, and the endless expanse of sand seemed to stretch on forever. Yet, Lugalbanda pressed forward, driven by a sense of duty and the hope of reuniting with his comrades. Finally, after days of arduous travel, he reached the army. The sight of the familiar campfires and the distant murmur of voices filled him with a renewed sense of purpose. They were camped on the outskirts of Arata, a city known for its formidable defenses and strategic importance. The soldiers had been preparing for a crucial battle. Their spirits dampened by the prolonged absence of their comrade, they were amazed to see him alive. Whispers of disbelief and astonishment spread through the camp like wildfire. Many had feared the worst, believing that Lugalbanda had perished in the harsh wilderness. They had given him up for dead. The news of his return brought a wave of relief and joy, dispelling the gloom that had settled over the camp. They welcomed him back into their ranks with open arms. The bonds of brotherhood and camaraderie were rekindled as they embraced their long-lost friend. Lugalbanda told them of his trials. He recounted the harrowing journey, the challenges he faced, and the moments when he had to summon every ounce of strength to keep going. He described his encounter with the Anzu, a mythical creature of immense power and ferocity. The soldiers listened in rapt attention, their imaginations ignited by the vivid details of the tale. The soldiers were astonished by his tale. They marveled at his bravery and the incredible feats he had accomplished. Lugalbanda's story became a beacon of hope and inspiration for all who heard it. They recognized him as a true hero. His courage and resilience in the face of overwhelming odds earned him the respect and admiration of his peers. They were inspired by his courage and resilience. The soldiers felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination, ready to face the challenges that lay ahead. Lugalbanda's return boosted the army's morale. His presence was a powerful reminder of what they were fighting for and the strength they possessed as a united force. They were ready to face any challenge. With Lugalbanda by their side, they felt invincible, prepared to overcome any obstacle in their path. They knew that victory was within their grasp. The army, now filled with a renewed sense of hope and determination, marched forward with confidence, ready to claim their triumph. Section 9. A legacy forged in courage. The army of Uruk, bolstered by Lugalbanda's return, went on to conquer Arata. Lugalbanda's name became a legend. His story was passed down through generations. He was revered for his courage, his loyalty, and his unwavering faith in the gods. Lugalbanda's journey reminds us that even in the face of adversity, we must never give up hope. We must trust in our inner strength. We must never stop fighting for what we believe in. Lugalbanda's legacy continues to inspire us today. He is a symbol of the indomitable spirit that resides within us all.